All right, Jekyll back with another Mythic tutorial. This time we are doing Murder Row. And let me tell you, Murder Row is a little it's a little rougher in certain aspects, I would say, compared to other ones. But honestly, the overall fights are not bad. I would say this one is going to be more of like a knowing your positioning rather than like really an AoE damage or anything like that. And honestly, there really isn't any AoE cleave in this one. I would highly recommend going in as a single target DPS spec because every fight in this one is strictly single target burn damage. Like just burst the shit out of single target. So this dungeon is definitely going to be a single target build. So anybody that's a single target build, highly recommend you're definitely gonna be a high choice for high keys for Murder Row. I will tell you that right now. You will need the AoE damage obviously to take ads, but for boss fight, every single one of these bosses is going to be a single target except for the last boss, and we'll get to that, but you can honestly nuke the last ads. The ads are honestly uh, nowhere near as, I would say, terrible as some other dungeons. Most of them are just going to be silencing. Um, most of the ads in the beginning, right off the rip, you don't have to worry about. There is the rogues. You will find rogues in here. So here are the rogues I was talking about. The rogues are kind of the ones that really are going to need focus down for DPS wise. They put a stacking debuff right there. They're the stalkers. Or the sneaks, my bad. They're called sneaks. The sneaks put a debuff on the tank, or whoever they're attacking. That's a massive bleed, and it stacks indefinitely. And let me tell you, that stack, I think I went up to 4 stacks, and it was doing 50,000 damage every second. Like, it fucking hurts. So definitely need to take down those ads. There are guards in here as well. The guards are not really. Just take the guard on by itself. Just watch out for the shield slam that it does. But they're really not too bad. Besides that, most of the ads in this is pretty easy. In the beginning, and that's because the first boss is more, I think, of a pain in the ass than anything. Normally, you have ads that are kind of a pain in the ass, but nope. I'm definitely gonna tell you. The first boss on this one is probably the hardest boss in the dungeon. But I mean, that also just depends on what kind of DPS, what kind of build you have running this. So you'll see. Now, there also is going to be, when you're in here, you have to find the 4 snitches. You find the 4 snitches, you interrogate them, and you will want to find these crystal orbs, these fel crystals. The fel crystals, when you pick them up, they will give you an ability to go to a vendor and buy some nice little buffs that you can have for the group. And they are very nice. And as you'll see, I'll show you here in a second what those buffs are. You'll see that these yeah, that right there, we didn't realize that guy does a massive AoE after you kill him. And we're like, oh shit. But yeah, you just talk to the snitch here, you'll see. And I'm looking for a crystal, and right there it is in the bottom corner. You want to make sure, right here in this corner, you want to make sure that you grab a couple of those. You should be able to grab 3 pretty easy. Honestly, you don't really need more than 3. But you'll see that you can go to these vendors. These vendors will light up with these green beacons that you see right here. They all sell different things to increase weather damage. Now, remember, don't grab the first one over here on this dude, because that one is based on level, and you can't use it on somebody that is a higher level, because what it does is reduces their HP by 50%, but you can't use it on somebody that is higher level than you. And obviously, the bosses on Mythic are 92, so you're not going to be able to use it. So don't waste your token on that. The best ones that I recommend getting is going to be the pistol. So any DPS or healers, grab the haste boost. There's one that increases damage and healing by 2%, and it stacks. But the problem is, if you drink too many, I don't know how many, so I'll have to get back to you guys on that. If you guys know, please comment below. But if you drink too many right here, it will kill the group. And you'll see right here then is the pistol one that is really good. That one is definitely a must for this boss. I highly recommend it just to nuke him down, because this boss has the most mechanics out of any of them in the entire fucking group, out of the entire dungeon. So this one I definitely recommend. Okay, so this one you gotta kill the little guy Skittles, or whatever his name is here. Yeah, so we attack Nibbles here, and the only way you can damage the boss is when you kill Nibbles. So once you take Nibbles down, then the boss will become attackable. The boss actually gets stunned for a duration. And then also Nibbles does an AoE blast. You gotta make sure you rotate with it, because it will nuke you. It is disgusting. It will, like, as you see right there, Busy just got absolutely nuked by it. It will one-shot you, especially early on in Mythics. Probably even later on as you do higher Mythic keys. Like, it's definitely one that you don't mess with. Then, at the same time, the boss will start spawning mirror images. When they spawn the mirror images, there's going to be 5. You can either silence, CC, stun, Death Grip if you're a Death Knight. Death Knights are going to be very valuable here. If you're a Druid and you have, like, Tidal Wave, you can knock them back. Anything that just stops their cast, that is all that matters. So as you see, I'm going to Death Grip them here, boom, and then silence. They are must, though. You have to, because they keep doing a tick damage, and also if they cast their final form, bye-bye, it's a wipe. But other than that, it's pretty much dodge Nibbles' breath here, nuke Nibbles down, target boss, pop like your pistol, because that pistol does a 20% damage boost that everybody deals to her. So as you can see, we just start absolutely chunking her here, and it is the best way to honestly kill her. You use those fell crystals as your best advice here. Utilize them and just absolutely nuke face. And then just, stun, silence the mirror images when they come up, and GG. We'll move on to the next one.
Yes.
There's one left. All right, fuck her up. Oh wow, that was easy. That was easier than fucking. So now we'll move on to the next part. Our group failed miserably at this. So you got to talk to this guy, and you're gonna be in a disguise. And you got to actually go into the thing and clock in. Everybody has to be here. Everybody has to clock in. If somebody clocks in, it starts a countdown. And it's a 60-second countdown, so you want to make sure that you get in there ASAP to make sure that you really get this group going. So you're either going to be one of, like, 3 positions or 4 positions, if I'm not mistaken. 4 positions, yeah. 2 people will be chefs. They have to deliver food. When you look at somebody, if you are the chef, like I start out the chef here, you actually will have a chef hat on. You are going to have to take people their food, and above their head will say either cheese, wine, or a steak. Once you see on a table here, there'll be cheese, steak, or wine, and you just click it and then take it over to that person to satisfy them, if you are the chef. If you're the bouncer, you actually got to target your enemies and shoot them out the door. You got to kick them out the door. If you don't kick them out the door, well, they're going to stay inside here and start silencing and stunning people, and it's not going to be good. At the same time, then, you will have somebody that's a cleaner. They're going to grab a broom, like Hyde is currently up at the top left, and she's just going to go around, and she is going to collect all of the, I guess, mud or dirt or whatever the hell we're throwing around everywhere, the filth. Who fucking knows what it is, but it's something. It's whatever green stuff is on the ground. She has to go around and collect all that. There's going to be then somebody that's going to be a dancer. The dancer has to move around the entire room and dance floor to hit these little puddles that are spawning. And it is going to be a little bit of a brain teaser, because you have to remember which one comes first. It starts sending them out pretty quick. So it'll have like 4 of them on the ground, and you got to remember which one came first, and then just keep the pattern going. So it is like a memory game if you're the dancer. It is tough. Now here's the difference on Mythic though, is on Mythic you actually get rotated positions. So if you are one time doing cooking, you might get switched over to do like I am now sweeping. I am cleaning the place. So I went from cooking to sweeping, and Hyde went from sweeping to cooking. So yeah, you have to like figure out what you got to do. Now she's bouncing. So yeah, as you see, you have to yeah, it gets tough. It gets a little confusing. Like I said, we failed at this part. But this part, honestly, once you figure it out and you do all the positions, it'll be easier. And honestly, as the Mythic and this raid stays out longer, more people understand what to do, and it'll become easier. There's really nothing too terrible to worry about as far as ads. So now we're gonna come to the next boss. All right, the little pirate guy, little rogue guy. There's gonna be barrels that spawn. The barrels that do come in, you want to make sure that you are blowing them up. So there's going to be 2 people that get targeted with a AoE swirl underneath them. They want to try and position themselves so they're not overlapping each other, but also they're stacking where the barrels are going to get hit by that, so that it destroys the barrels. Then the boss will do a pistol shot where it targets everybody in the group. There will be enough barrels spawned that everybody can just hide behind them at that point, and you want to make sure that his pistol shot shoots the barrels. When the pistol shot shoots the barrels, it will also explode them. So as you see, they're standing there. They're going to have the barrels get exploded here. Boom. And then immediately they got to get out of there because they're going to explode. And then the boss is going to do a pistol shot here coming up. And that is where we're going to all hide behind a barrel. As you will see right here, he goes over. Now you just hide behind barrels. Everybody just make sure you're hiding behind a barrel. And then they explode. And that is it. You just rinse and repeat those. I mean, this is an easy fight. Very easy fight. Just straightforward. DPS them. So this is where single target damage just absolutely come in. And you can just pretty much tank and spank them. He does hit pretty hard, though, as far as going towards the tank. He does do a killing spree that you definitely want to watch out for. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a pretty much tank and spank here. Horizon is so if you have too many barrels, right, what will happen is a barrel triggers another barrel then if it's not already activated. So if you have too many barrels in a room, eventually you're just going to have a fucking whole room of nuking.
Yeah. Get the barrels, get the barrels.
Barrels.
Get the barrels.
Oh, we just
Yeah, we should be okay. Oh, dude, he puts a debuff on me, bro. Oh my god, that hurts. Oh.
Yeah, I can't get it off either.
Nope. Dude, he reduced my health by 30%.
Alright.
Good shit. Nice. So then you go through, you'll click a portal over here. Now you just got a lot of casters here. So the casters obviously group up, cleave them down, silence them if you can, stun them. You're just gonna have a lot of cleave here that you can do for trash. Nothing too crazy as far as like needing any real mechanics or ones to really watch out for. So you'll see here. This one's pretty straightforward, just killing trash up until the next boss. So then you come up to this lovely guy, the Annihilator. He's actually pretty easy. Make sure before you start it, everybody's inside the like circle here because it puts up a barrier, and if you're outside of it, you're gonna get hit very hard and probably just die. So do not make sure you don't start it until everybody's inside it. The tank wants to actually tank this guy on the outside here. You want to tank him on the outside ring because you'll see here in a little bit of why that is, and I'll go over that. But this boss, honestly, super easy. He is going to throw an axe down. When he throws an axe, make sure the DPS nuke the axe, okay? The axe needs to go. It just does AoE damage. So make sure you nuke the axe down. But once you do that, he gets the axe then in his hand. and he will actually do this like soaking mechanic, or well, it's not really a soak, it's a pool drop mechanic. That everywhere he walks, it drops a pool behind him. So it ends up becoming a DPS race. It will end up just being a straight DPS race here, as you'll see. He gets the axe, and now he's going to drop these pools underneath him. You do not want that frontal strike there to hit anybody, but here comes the rage, and now see how everywhere he walks, he is dropping a pool, and you got to kite him as the tank around the outside ring. And if he gets, obviously, if he stands there too long, it keeps spreading in front. So you got to really keep kiting him nice and slow. Because obviously, if you kite him too fast, you're just going to have the whole room fill up. So this really comes down to a tanking and positioning fight. And just a DPS check. But honestly, as you can see, we were absolutely wrecking this dude. This dude did not last long. And honestly, he's really easy besides that whole mechanic. It's just destroy the axe and then work on him after the axe is destroyed, and once he hits 100 energy, he does the rage, and he will start spawning more of the pool drops behind him. But honestly, like I said, you can burn him pretty quick. He is super easy right now. I'm sure it will get a lot harder once you have more, mechanics coming in, but for right now, it's real easy. All right, going through next ads. Nothing really to worry about. I mean, like I said, they're just a bunch of casters once again that are going in. The casters, we just need to just DPS down. You can silence them. Just try and bring them together and cleave them. All the ads were pretty straightforward. Don't stand in things that they drop. They'll drop summoning circles that have big fell circles. Just don't stand in it. I mean, all this trash is pretty self-explanatory, honestly. It's just typical dungeon mechanics. So here's where we're gonna get into the last boss here. This boss is an interesting one. It's kind of like a DPS check, but also not really a DPS check. Like it is, but it's also positioning and like coordination between your group, if that makes sense. She is going to spawn an ad on Mythic. So first of all, the big inferno behind her, the tank has to kite her around the room, and you're going to be kiting from side to side eventually. Once you get the rotation in, as you will see. We do die the first time here, so you'll see. I'll explain it, and you can see our wipe, and then the next time we understand a little bit better, and we go through and actually clear this. She will spawn a fell, like a fell stalker. Make sure you nuke the fell stalker down the ad. And then she will summon a portal. She's going to summon a warlock portal that you will have to use then. But when she summons that, you're going to get all hit by these fell imp infernals, or these fell imps, and a bunch of imps are going to spawn on everybody. So you want to make sure that they're all stacked. Like you get stacked kind of in like a pentagon shape. You want to overlap, but not be standing inside of each other's circles, because you'll see that's what we initially do here, and we actually die from it. So this is where we actually end up, kind of getting a little rough right here. So this is where you got to stack them, but not overlap, because it does DPS. As you see, it took everybody down. It nuked everybody down pretty hard. If you have the heals and you have the gear for it, you can. But this is where you gotta nuke these ads down. The ads must die, because the boss is gonna spawn a fell circle, or like a fell wave, and then you gotta take the portal right before that wave hits you, so that way you can go over and silence the boss. Now, here's the issue. You got to kill the ads, because if you don't kill the ads, even this fell stalker and all the fell imps, all of them get a boost, and they all deal like 100% more damage. So that is why it's so important to nuke the ads. They get boosted health, boosted damage, boosted everything. And you just want to make sure that the ads are completely nuked before you go through the portal, hopefully, so that way when you get over there, you can silence the boss and keep DPSing on the boss then. And then it's just going to turn into a rinse repeat. She'll spawn another fell stalker, DPS the fell stalker while you're kiting the boss from side to side, and just nuke down the fell imps once you get spawned with the fell imps.
Dead Hyde. Huh?
All right, so she's gonna spawn an ad, and we gotta kill the first ad right away. Yep, right here, the Vile Fiend. That one gotta go because he gets buffed when. So this we gotta Venn diagram it. Yep. Okay, nuke ads. Try and kill him.
My big ass man.
Yep. Take portal.
Oh god.
Okay, nuke her.
I don't have any interrupt.
I got it.
I'll get next. I'll get it.
And you do want to interrupt her spell cast. Yep, here comes the
ad.
you can interrupt the spell cast so that way she's not doing any type of like fell bolts on anybody. Venn diagram. God. And this is all it's going to come down to is just a rinse and repeat of these exact steps here.
I must get closer.
Take portal.
I'm out of range.
Nice, head's dead. Nice. Portal it.
I got that interrupt.
Nice. And then this is just a rinse and repeat. That's all it is. Just focus boss. Don't worry about the ad that spawns.
Nice.
This might have been the easiest fucking mythic that we did. And there you go. As you see, we were able to take her down. It was an easy nuke. So hopefully that helps. If you guys liked it, please like, comment. If you have any questions about it, comment below. And like I said, come visit us over at Hyde Jekyll.